beautiful people. As you are coming into the room, say hi. Yay. Say hi or wave at us. As you are coming into the room, I have a special guest with me today. Hello, my Aunt Zella is here. Hello. Hello. Wave at us as you're coming into the room. Aunt Zella, this is your nephew, Jerry. I don't know if you've met him before, but hey, y'all. How you doing, beautiful people? It's a lot going on in this shot today. A lot. Okay. That's okay, though, right? How are y'all doing this Tuesday? Welcome, welcome. As you're coming into the room, say hi, wave at us. Of course, y'all know I always got to get my little stuff set up. I'm Jamie Stacy. I am the founder of Swag. If this is your first time joining us today, just want to say hi and introduce myself to you. So glad that you could be here. We have an exciting segment today, and it's been one of the most requested segments people have asked about because they've heard me make a statement about swag. Swag is not an indictment of men. Neither do we dismiss their presence from our success. And so people that have heard me say that, they are like wondering, well, where are the men at? Where are they at? You know, they support swag. How do men support swag and all? You know, so we've got all of these things that are happening and questions that are coming forth from different people, different audiences wanting to know. So hopefully today, when Jerry's help, we're gonna answer some of your questions. And if you have questions today, I encourage you to send them in to us. Yes. Once again, I don't know what's up with my little comments here. So I'm probably gonna be reading some comments from down here. I'm so happy that you all are here with us today. Thank you for being here. So what's trending? We're gonna do some what's trending and all that stuff like we normally do. Y'all know what we do when we come in this room. Oh, by the way, I had some people comment about my lipstick from my Father's Day post. It's this. I'm wearing it today. Do y'all like it? Do you like my lipstick? Yes.
I like it.
Yeah, Jared was wearing quite a bit of this lipstick. Anyway, it is called Vampira. I don't really know. I got it at Sephora. I get a lot of stuff from Sephora, but it looks like this. It's really cute little tube. But anyway, I hope y'all like it because I like my lipstick. Jerry's, I like, yeah. I know you like it.
You should.
So, as you are coming into the room today, let's go ahead and do our quarantine points. Quarantine points. What's your quarantine score today? You get 1 point for every one of these. Here we go. Did you get out of bed? If you're watching from your bed, you don't get a point. Get out of bed. Changed out of your pajamas. Do you have clothes on? Like real clothes. Like I have a romper on today, y'all. Romper, romp. I love it. Brushed your hair. Yes, brushed your hair. Brushed your teeth. Y'all know how I feel about that one. Showered. Did your makeup. Well, I like to do a little lip, you know. Styled your hair. We're going to talk about this hair in a minute. Just made coffee.
Imperative.
That's why I'm smiling like this, y'all. Cooked breakfast. I made some granola bars this morning, so does that count? I'm
That
gonna
counts.
let it count.
It counts. And do the quarantine points count for me as well?
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
You get quarantine
Because
points.
I've definitely been nodding my head.
Okay. Did you go out? Went outside? I get a point for that today because I did go outside. And put on pants with no elastic band. You know how we like to do. We like to throw on them leggings and all that good stuff, you know. I'm trying to see my. Here we go again, y'all. I can't see my comments. I'm gonna try to see. I don't see them. I'm sorry. And there's no way for me to. Oh my God! I see your comments. Okay, I just figured it out. Thank you for that, Aunt Joe. You like my lipstick? Thank you for that. So, we're gonna talk about this hair for just a second. Just a second. This is my natural hair. This is what it looks like without all of the other stuff. And I don't put any chemicals of any kind in my hair. This is it. This is what it is. And I hope you like it. My hair, her name is Rosa. Yeah. I named her Rosa. That is, look, I mean, like, come on, Rosa. And then some days when Rosa don't be acting right, I can't get, Rosa together. I'll be like, get off the bus, Rosa. Get off the bus, Rosa. What the... I have to get Rosa acting right. Yeah. So that's what's up with the hair today. I just decided to wear it out. Let y'all see it. And Jerry likes it.
It's very nice.
He loves it. Yes. So how many points did you get? Angela got 9 points. What? How? How did you get that many points? Oh my God. That is so good. Let's see who else got some points. Granny got 4 points. Hey, Granny, that is good. That's good. If you look, I'm clapping for anybody that gets more than 3 points during this quarantine time.
Out of how many possible points?
There's 10.
Okay.
There's 10 possible.
And Aunt Zella got 9?
Yeah, that's what I'm like. This is for Zella. Yes. Thank you, Toya. Right back at you. Beautiful. Yeah, anybody that's getting more than 3 points during this quarantine time, we are applauding you. We say great job doing all of those things. So really quickly, now that we got our quarantine points out of the way, I want to say something, and I'll probably say this a couple times as we are talking. So first of all, how many of you in the room saw the video that I made about us reaching 1,100? If you saw that video, give me a thumbs up. Thumbs up if you saw the 1,100. You guys, it's crazy how this number keeps showing up. I even got an email yesterday from someone who is in a top position in a company, and I looked at the timestamp on it, and it says 11/11. 11/11. So this number keeps showing up all the time, and I'm just really excited to see where we're going with this. As you guys know, as you continue to like and to share, every time we get someone new following and liking swag, it just builds up this platform and this audience that we're able to reach more people. But also, as we're reaching, we're getting more support. So what does that support mean? That support means that more swag participants are getting the things that they need. So as we are reaching for that number, that 1,100, we're able to do more for those girls that are participants of swag. We are doing a giveaway, a $100 Visa card. $100 Visa card. When we reach 11/11 on Swag's Facebook page. Jerry, did you know that? You're giving somebody $100.
So be
So we are doing that. We're giving away $100 Visa card to a swag participant because a lot of times our dreams and goals are attached to material things, and it takes money to access those things. So we want to make sure we're getting them the money that they need so they can access what they need to be successful. Okay. As you all know, some of you, or most of you know, when we started the Swag at Home series, one of the things that I talked about was something that we did not get to do. And it was a meeting, it was a group meeting that we were going to do with the Swag Girls called Ask a Man. Ask a Man. And this idea came to me one day because our utility company here, it's called Avista Utilities. They have this little pamphlet that they send out to all the homeowners and to the people that live in Spokane or whatever. And they always say, call before you dig. Call before you dig. So I began to think about that and how that applies to us and how we are pursuing relationships and people in our lives. So there are a lot of people that are looking for something, and even like, because Swag was in the high school, I saw this even with the high school girls, and even remembering my own journey. There are a lot of people that were looking for things and in relationships and in men. Girls, they were digging, looking for what they thought they wanted, and they were finding themselves at a place where they were either they were digging up junk. It was not good for them what they were digging up. They were finding not treasure. They weren't finding treasure, but they were on a search. They were searching. And so anyway, I began to think about that. And I was like, it would have been so cool if they could have conversations with men, or, because a lot of them didn't have access to their fathers. Fathers were not present in the homes. But if they could just have a conversation with a man about some of the things that they wanted to know. So I was trying to create this platform for them so they could ask a man. Well, we didn't get to do that because of COVID-19. That's okay. That's okay. I just want to say hi really quickly to family. Hi, Jerome and Yessie. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you for being here. We are going to jump into embracing fatherhood. Yeah. So I will say it again, as I've said so many times before. Swag. To support Swag, Swag is not an indictment of men. Neither do we dismiss their presence from our success. So we're going to be talking about that a little bit today with Jerry. And I have some questions for him. He's been able to kind of stew a little bit, think about some things. And if you have some questions for him, ask. All right. So really quickly, just by some hearts thrown up in this room today, how many of you actually have a man in your life that you can talk to and be yourself with without shame? Someone that you can gain insight from on maybe what men are thinking, or how many of you have that in your life? But just throw some hearts up in the room. Throw some hearts up so as we enter into this conversation. So I want to introduce you to the father of my children. This is Jerry Stacy, and he and I have been married for 19 years.
Yes, indeed.
19 years. It's crazy though, because we met in 1999. Yes, like January of 1999. So we've known each other for almost 21 years, y'all. I don't even look 21. How is that possible?
Very nice.
So, we're just going to jump into some of our questions for today. The first question that I had for Jerry is in regards to swag. Like, why is it important for men to support swag?
First of all, thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be here. And hi, everyone. To answer the question, why is it important for men to support swag? Because the world that we envision, hopefully, is a better world. And to that end, we're going to need the best from both men and women. And one of the reasons why I support swag is because it helps to supply women with the necessary tools for success building and achieving greatness.
I agree with that. So when we talk about men supporting swag, what does that look like? What does that look like when a man says, "Yeah, I'm about it. I like this. What you doing?" What does that look like?
To me, looks like sharing what swag does with other people. It looks like a donations, which could be monetary. Donations could come in the form of resources. It could also come in the form of donating your time, your energy, and attention. And sharing ideas that are consistent with the principles and the goals of swag.
And about swag is being a platform for women's voices, right?
That's correct. I think that it's important that we understand that as men who support this thing, that in all of the support, that we don't diminish the voices of women, that their voices remain the loudest. And that's imperative.
Yes, it is. It is very imperative. I like what you said about that, you don't diminish the voices of women, because I think sometimes it's kind of concerning to women whenever we have something and, we think this is our space and we don't want any men in this space, and then all of a sudden we need something and the source of it is actually a man, and then we're like, oh my God, but we pushed all the men away. That's why it's important to know that with swag, we're strong women achieving greatness, yes, and we are rising together, but men are also a part of helping us to rise. And I don't know how you feel about that, but I love it. If you love it, throw some hearts up. I love it. One thing about Jerry and his family, when I met them, I was very much aware of how your father treated your mother. I was like, let me see what's going on here. And immediately it was obvious in that home. Their mother is a strong woman.
Yes.
My mother-in-law, she's a strong woman. And she's also a very giving, loving woman. Whenever we went through all our stuff last year, Jerry's mother actually came up to Seattle.
Yes, she did.
And she stayed with us. She took care of him so that I could be in the hospital with Micah for 10 days. She made sure that he was very well taken care of.
She did.
She's a strong woman. I absolutely love that about her. Jerry's the oldest of 8. So you gotta be strong if you got 8 kids.
That's true.
Jerry's the oldest of 8. So I watched her, and not just the oldest of 8. There's 6 boys. 6 boys and 2 girls. This woman, I watched, like, by the time I met Jerry and his family, he was the oldest, but his brothers were like teenagers and whatever. And I would watch those young men come into the house, and they would go straight to their mom and kiss her and, oh, hi mom, I love you, and you just loving all over her. And I was like, oh my God, they had so much love and respect for their mother. She's a strong woman. You gotta be strong raising 6 boys. But in all of that, your father was there, and he was very, very supportive of her.
He was, always.
So for her to be that strong, man, the kind of man he has to be, what ways did your father support her, like, for her to continue being as strong as she was?
The biggest thing I think is, well, number one, people have enormous greatness within them. And I think that whenever you try to stand as a roadblock, or if your expectations are too rigid, you're just looking to cause harm. My father knew that this was a great woman, and he knew to stay out of her way.
Get out the way. Get out the way.
My mother is a strong woman, a very, very strong woman.
Mm-hmm.
But her gifts, I would say her strengths, never made my father feel threatened. My father was never threatened by the strength within my mother. But he knew that the two of them were better together as a team. Like us. Just like us, bro. No, they were much more formidable as a team. He recognized that he needed the strength that my mother presented. Okay, so he never... The things that my mother excelled at, he was a support. The things that she wanted to do, he was an enormous support. He encouraged those things. And I witnessed that. And that was...
I did too. I witnessed that too.
And so that was the example that I had of not only, not just fatherhood within my father, but what it meant to be a man as well. So.
Yeah. So with all of that, you got to see your dad, like, really demonstrate some valuable things to you as a man.
Correct.
Do you think fatherhood is necessary? Is fatherhood necessary? Like, what does fatherhood bring into the lives of children?
I would say that fatherhood is absolutely imperative. And I say that because fatherhood brings some very important things into the lives of children. I would say that fatherhood brings love. It brings leadership, structure, provision, and protection. All necessary components.
Yeah, I remember when the kids did an acrostic poem. They did one for their name. Now, Michaela showed you guys about that, like, a couple of episodes ago. But one of the things that they wanted to do was an acrostic poem for their dad. And they said that he was... Do you remember what they said about you?
You'll have to refresh my
memory. They said that he was dependable, and that the A was accountable, because I've seen, and the stories that came with it was from them. Like, my daughter and son they've received apologies from us as parents. Like when we've made mistakes, we've apologized to them for them, but they've seen that from their father, and they see this huge, strong guy, and he comes to them and he'll say, I want to apologize for, making you feel this way, or saying this or doing this. He's not above that. And then the other D that they said was defender. You remember that? Remember
yes,
that? They said defender.
I really like that.
Because he's those things in our home. Which, we're talking about fatherhood and embracing fatherhood. I grew up in a single parent home where my mother raised us. And the thing about it is, my dad, he was there. He just wasn't living in the home. He wasn't living with us. But his love was not diminished for me or for my brother. He still loved us. But my mom was there. She was that presence that was the constant in the home. And I know for me, I really wanted more of my dad. I really did. I wanted that. I know that my mom did the best she could, but I do believe that there are some things that I could have benefited from if he had been living with us. Now, I would say this, what you were saying about fatherhood, embracing fatherhood does not diminish motherhood. It doesn't mean that motherhood is all of a sudden less valuable because you got a father in the home. No, he knows how valuable he is, and I know how valuable I am. He knows how valuable I am as well. So, whenever you begin to think about embracing fatherhood, how can mothers and fathers work together? How can they work together? I want to say one thing. My mother never, ever, ever said a bad word about my dad. Ever. As a matter of fact, anytime he was at our house, like coming to visit, or it was Christmas or birthday or whatever it was, anytime he was around, and after he left, she would celebrate that with us because she saw how excited we were. She would celebrate with us of us being like happy that our dad came by. He brought us a bike, or he bought a car, or he bought a coat, or whatever it was. She would celebrate those things with us. My first car, my dad bought it. He bought it. There were just so many things. Man, he was at my graduation. He showed up at my graduation. Him and my grandma Rosie. I still have that picture of them. So that's what I'm saying. Like, my mother did not, even though she was strong in her motherhood, having my father present, she didn't work hard to diminish anything that he brought to the picture. So how can women and men work together to embrace fatherhood?
Well, there shouldn't be an existing disparity between the two. One shouldn't disparage the other. They are both important. They are both imperative. The answer to me is really baked into the question itself. Working together. Mothers and fathers working together, because that's what it takes. It's not just a one-sided equation, but it's dual-sided. Both have to, I would say, recognize the importance of the roles that both have to play Understand and acknowledge those things, respect and appreciate those, and play your positions accordingly. Like I said, it is really a partnership. You need both wings for the bird to fly. Okay.
Oh, we
like
flying
that?
up in here, y'all. We flying up in here. Hey, I like that. Ooh.
Pardon the cliche, but it is true.
I like that. Y'all better throw me some thumbs up or some hearts if y'all like. Hey, who else is flying out there? What the? That's good. That's good. I remember being in home ec class, and we had this little saying, a place for everything and everything in its place. And when Jerry and I got married, there was a part of the absence of my father living in the home. All of a sudden I had a man that was living. I was living with him. And there was a part of me that would try to shift him into that space, like into the father space, because there was still that longing there for my dad. And the problem with that is when we begin to shift things around, we begin to get things out of order. So I had to be sure that I maintained that Jerry was my partner. He was my husband. It was not about him being my daddy. Because I had a dad, I was just feeling that, I wish that I could have lived with my dad. I was feeling that. And so I would try to shift Jerry into that space. It didn't work. So I'm glad that early in our marriage, my dad and I, we connected on a whole new level, because he began to see me as a woman, and he honored me for that. He honored me, and he loved Jerry. Oh my God, he loves Jerry. He loves me too, but he loves Jerry. And he, like, as soon as let me tell y'all something about my dad. He ain't been on Facebook very long, but as soon as he got a Facebook page, you know whose page he came on, like, to post something, I think you're a magnificent, wonderful, all that. It wasn't my page. He came on Jerry. He came over to Jerry's page to be like, "You're great. You're such an awesome, great son." I was like, "What the? What?"
And I appreciate the kudos, Pops.
But back to what I was saying. Early in our marriage, I had to make sure that Jerry was in the place that he needed to be for me, in my heart and in my life. And that was the role of a partner and a husband, not the father part. Because that wasn't his place. His place for me is not to be my daddy. His place is to be my partner, my husband. And I think that when you're dealing with the absence of fatherhood, that's a common thing that happens with young ladies. It's a very common thing. So when they're digging, when they're looking for someone to be a partner, to love, to share their life with, they're looking for their father instead of looking for a partner and husband. It's important. It's not fair to the husband. It's not fair to the husband when we do that to them. And so now we have kids of our own.
Indeed.
Lord have mercy. So I know you have invested a lot in our son, but how has having a daughter shaped your perception of fatherhood? How's having a daughter like shaped your perception of fatherhood?
All of the things that I already knew were important became bigger. I remember, holding my son in my arms when he was born and being proud and feeling, a tremendous honor. I just felt honor and pride. And I knew what I had to do then. I had a strong sense, I should say, of what I should do then. When my daughter was born and I held her in my arms for the first time, everything that I felt and knew with my son when I held him, as I held my daughter, the gravity increased tremendously. And I think that having a daughter softens the heart. I think.
Yeah.
It
wrapped, y'all. Wrapped.
Well, yeah, that is true. I think that your parenting changes a bit. With my son, it was more. My father was in the military, and so there was a tremendous amount of discipline and structure in our home, and that carried over, into my style of parenting, and that was definitely something that was present. In raising my son.
Let me ask y'all, how many of y'all had military parents? Somebody like a father or a mother that was in the military? Put some thumbs up. Thumbs up it out there if y'all had military parents.
It's an experience.
Yeah.
But one you should benefit from. I know that was the case for us.
Mm-hmm.
But with my son, it was more like complete the mission. Complete the mission or else.
Yeah.
So my son got a ton of that. My daughter, however, got something augmented. With my daughter, it was more like Shugs.
Mm-hmm.
Shugs. your room. Shuggy. Your room. So my daughter got more of that style,
Yes.
where I found out that teachable moments and instances of correction even didn't have to be applied with a firm hand. You could actually use humor to convey, powerful lessons. So those are some of the ways that having a daughter has changed my parenting. And the other thing is I've always felt with fatherhood a strong sense of duty attached to it. And of course, I have. There's always been love in the equation, but having a daughter made me realize that it's my duty to do this, but I love being a father. I love being a father, and so I have Michaela to thank. So thank you, Michaela.
Yeah, Michaela, she loves her dad. And I'm glad that they have that relationship. I'm really glad that she has that kind of a relationship with her dad. It's really neat for me to see that. It's really amazing to for me to see that. And I think that part of what you're saying, Jerry, about the way you were with Michaela versus how it was with Micah, I think that fathers love their daughters but raise their sons, and mothers love their sons but raise their daughters. It's because we see in us. I don't know if you guys have ever even heard that before, but if maybe that's something that speaks to you on another level. If you've got children that you are watching or have raised, and you can identify, yeah, those are some of the differences that happen with me and my kids. Definitely. Look, Micah, to me, oh my God, that's my baby. Even though he's a teenager, but he's still, oh my gosh. He can come and just be like, Mom. Oh.
And he does. All the time.
And I just want to grab him and be like, hush, little baby, don't say a word. I want to, and he's a teenager. Twice my size, too. However, with Michaela, when I see her doing things that I don't feel reflect the values of our home, or as a young lady, or the kind of young lady that I envision her to be, I'm quicker to be like, look, you need to stop that, quit that. I'm quicker to be like that with her, and he's quicker to be like that with Micah.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it comes to Michaela, it's like, I'm melting.
Yeah, sort of.
You know it.
Yeah. The tools are a bit different. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I tend to lead with a firmer hand with my son.
Mm-hmm.
And then, it is more plush when we talk about how I deal with my daughter. Yet it is effective.
It is. Because when he does use a firm voice with her, like the other day when she wouldn't get off the piano, she was playing the piano, and we were both like trying to do something.
Mm-hmm.
And she needed to be going to bed is what it was.
Right.
And she just, and I had been saying, Michaela, you need to get off the piano. Get off the piano. It's time for you to go to bed. Get off the piano. And I kept hearing a little dink, 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 dink. And I'm telling you, I said, I might as well not even been talking. He comes around the corner and he just looks at her on the piano and he says, Shucks, you need to get off the piano. He said in a firm voice, Shucks, you need to get off of the piano and go to bed. And she looks at him. Okay, Dad. I was like, oh my God. What was I saying? Was I speaking a different language? Even if I was, I think she would know what I said. Because Michaela be speaking out. It was just, the difference is just astounding to see. Just like that, she was off the piano and going to bed. I was like, okay.
Real quick.
Yeah.
That's another example of why both parents are required, because we both bring different energy to the table. Mm-hmm. That was just a really, really simple example, but I think a pretty powerful one.
Yeah. And I think that Michaela, because swag is strong women achieving greatness.
Mm-hmm.
what strength does fatherhood bring to your daughter?
Well, I think that my example of love, kindness, the things that I invest into her become examples that she can utilize in her own life. My demonstration of love makes her more able to demonstrate love to others. My demonstration of kindness to her makes her more able to demonstrate kindness to others. And I think that a father being present in the home helps to foster a strong sense of identity and belonging in children.
And how is that?
Well, because, like I said, I stated that love was something that I demonstrate to both of my children, specifically my daughter. What is love?
You are loved, Jerry.
I should be. I'm supposed to be. The thing is, when we ask, well, what is love? It's a demonstration of how you feel about someone. It shows someone that they are important to you. You understand?
Yeah.
And I think that fosters a sense of value, of having worth. And I think that it's important for especially young women to get that from masculine figures in their life.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's extremely important. And I think that also precipitates confidence as well. You know, in addition, my daughter depends on my presence, my strength, my leadership, but it's important. What I've learned is that don't be too rigid. Establish boundaries, but don't be too rigid. Allow space for your children to grow on their own. Don't force them into a box, because the more rigid you are, the more you tend to hurt people. I think I may have said that before, but reiterating, rigidity tends to be more harmful a lot of times than it is useful.
And kids should always, their home should be the safest space for them to be and to do whomever or whatever they're going to become. If they are going to make a mistake in regards to that, it should be made at home. It should be made in a space where correction around it can come from the people who love you. And I think that our kids are very aware of that. Michaela and Micah, you know, you talked about love, and love is love giving. And I know some of you may have saw my post to Jerry on Father's Day. And one of the things, well, you can see that even in my post, it highlighted all of the things that he'd done, because love is action. It's not just words. You know, we're not just exchanging these words. Oh, I love you too. And not following through with action. And a lot of people fall in love, you know, and they are love people because of their heart. But I love Jerry because of his kidney. His kidney and his heart. Jerry actually prepared himself to die. He was preparing himself to die so that his son would be able to live. He donated a part of himself to his son, and our son is alive today because of the love that you have for your children. It's more than words.
Absolutely.
More than words.
Absolutely.
Yes, it's more than words. And like we have experienced, the things that from this past year, his life is forever changed. Jerry's life is forever changed because of his sacrifice for, forever. And that is love. And when you consider fatherhood and everything that we've been talking about, love is the driving force of fatherhood.
I would agree.
It has to be. And now this is the thing. There are some men who are not so good spouses. Let's just say it like that. Mm-hmm. They're not so good in the area of I'm gonna be a husband, I'm gonna be, a spouse or whatever, but they are excellent fathers. I mean, excellent fathers.
And I know some.
See, and I think that being able to embrace, like what we were talking about with motherhood and fatherhood, embracing both parties coming together, men and women coming together and saying, me being a great mother does not diminish your fatherhood. And you being a great father does not diminish my motherhood. Us being able to do that together. What benefits can come from women embracing fatherhood?
I think that's kind of like a recap of a lot of what's been previously stated. Mm-hmm. But I think for women, you should not have to bear that mantle alone. You shouldn't have to do it by yourselves. And I think that if you value your children, if you love your children, if you are interested in equipping them to be healthy, productive, contributing members of society. I mean, what parent wouldn't want that? Mm-hmm. I think it's important to understand, well, number one, discuss what your values are. Mm-hmm. Okay? And recognizing again the importance of the roles that mothers play and fathers both. It's a dual equation, dual-sided. We need both. We need both. But again, the I've seen it happen quite often where the mothers do take on everything, and it just should not be that way.
Mm-hmm. And there are, I won't even go as far as to say that there are some women who choose to do it. Like they make a choice to say, I'm going to, raise these children alone. And what I've seen, this has just been my perception, is they will reach out into their communities for men. Like if they say, I'm going to raise this son by myself or this boy by myself, they'll reach out into their community because they recognize that there should be a male presence. Because as much as I love Mike and as much as I do for him, I can't teach him how to be a man. I can't do it. I just can't do it.
That's true. And I can't teach my daughter how to be a woman.
No. So we depend on each other for those things. And that's what it looks like to embrace fatherhood.
Agreed.
We are embracing fatherhood. We're saying, come on, men, come stand with us. We're strong women achieving greatness, but we embrace fatherhood and we embrace the men who want to support swag. It's important. Oh my gosh, look at Rosa, y'all. Get off the bus, Rosa. She just showed up today. Well, hello. Really quickly, as we're wrapping up here, I wanted to remind everyone to like and share swag so that we can reach that 1100. That's our goal. 1111. 1111 supporters, followers. Like and share swag with your friends. We are able to do some great things in the community and to be able to lift up some young women in our community. We thank you all for being here. We have just a couple of minutes left. If you have any questions that you want to send to Jerry or that you want to ask him, go ahead in these next couple of minutes. Send your question to him so he's here right now, y'all. And this is, look, I'll be like, Jerry, you want to come on sweat? Mm-mm. You want to do sweat? Mm-mm. But when I said embracing fatherhood, he was like, I think I can do that. I can do that. But he didn't want to be here when we was talking about all that other stuff.
I like to get out of the way.
Get out the way. Get out the way. Yes. So if you have any questions, go ahead and send them right now so he can, while he's here, he can communicate with you. Also, next week is a very, very, very special segment. We won't be on at 1 o'clock. It'll be 7 p.m. And it is our Swag at Home series finale. We will be wrapping all of this up, and we will have 3 generations of women here. My mother, me, and Michaela. Now, there is a survey on Swag's Facebook page. If you click on it, you can go in there and ask questions. You can do that. You can go in there, ask questions, and then next week when we're on at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, when we're on, we will answer your questions. Me, my mom, and Michaela. How many of you enjoyed having Jerry here today? Did you enjoy having Jerry here? I enjoyed having him here.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. It was an honor to be here.
I don't know if anyone has any questions at this time. Your cousin is here. He's saying hi.
What's up, Lamargo?
And I saw my sister-in-law, Monisha, was here for a moment. Hello. Yeah, just if you guys have any questions really quick. Let me go back. I'm sorry. Let me go back up. Yeah. Let's turn it. I didn't mean to do that. Hello, Nicole. Thank you for being here. Yeah. Let me go back down. Thank you. Walter McBride said, I enjoyed. All the men that are in the room right now, throw some hearts up. Men in the room. Yes. Yes. All the men. This is a man's world. But it wouldn't be nothing without a woman or a girl.
That is true. That is true. Amen.
Yes. Thank you, men, for being here. We have a question really quick. Jerry, would you consider mentoring young boys and men?
It's something that I would consider that. I've actually been discussing that in the not so distant past with my brother about those kind of possibilities. I do have an interest in that. It's just that the medical crisis slowed a lot of things down for me. But as we move on and gain some more normalcy in the midst of this pandemic, more of those ideas and thoughts will start to come to the surface. So yes, absolutely. Absolutely, I've thought about that.
That's pretty cool. We know that with swag, swag starts at home.
Mm.
So Jerry's doing that. You're mentoring. He's mentoring our son Micah, and our daughter Michaela, because we've got to make sure that we're putting responsible, kind, loving people out into this world, because that's what this world needs. Um, so if we can put at least two more out there, that's two you won't have to worry about. That's two you won't have to worry about. And for you, Jerry, they're saying, I believe you have much to offer. I believe so too.
I appreciate that, Sister Mina.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So thank you all for being with us here today. It feels so good to have you here today.
I cannot sing.
You don't have to. See, that's you staying in your.
See, another example. There you go.
That it's. Now you done made me mess up. So anyway, thank you guys for being here today. Thank you for watching with us. And we hope that you too are able to move into a position from what we've shared, that you can embrace fatherhood so that you benefit from it in your life as well as your children benefit from it in their lives. I love y'all. I'll see you next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Don't forget to have swag.